Hey everyone, welcome back to new upload. You know, today was just one of those days and my skin is really going through it. I was looking in the mirror and I was telling myself, wow, your skin looks like garbage. And to be honest, I didn't want to film YouTube today. I really didn't want to film content because I was staring at my hormonal breakouts. And then I realized that thought process is so stupid. So I'm here to show you my A-list lineup of products and we're gonna go step by step to get beautiful blurred skin. So let's hop into it. All right, let's put back the hair and we're gonna get started on this beautiful blurred skin base. So I'm super excited to take you guys through this. I have a lot of great products sitting here in front of me and you probably have seen them actually in rotation in a lot of my beauty videos because these truly are my favorite products. So to kick everything off, the one thing I do want to tell you guys is we are not going to put on a primer. Now the reason for that is honestly with these lineup of products, I have not found myself needing a primer to make my skin look very nice. So what I recommend for you is get serums like a hyaluronic acid, something that's super hydrating for your skin and a really good moisturizer. Now, if you are oily skin, now there's a misconception that you shouldn't be using hydrating products on your skin. That is actually false. It is possible that the reason your skin is so oily is because it is dying for some hydration in its life. So please do not be scared to put some hydrating products on it. Get a very hydrated base and then jump into the makeup application. As for the foundation, we are gonna go in with the new Makeup by Mario Real Skin Foundation. Now, I've been loving this foundation because it has such a nice, beautiful finish to it. It is not a matte foundation. I would actually consider this foundation a little luminous, but it's not like oily or heavy on the skin, and this foundation really sinks into my skin. So that is why we are using this, and this foundation just really makes my skin look very dewy and healthy, but not oily. So going along the jawline, you really wanna make sure that is blended down here. We do not want any awkward lines of foundation. And then I just gently buff this up my face and on to my cheeks. So at this point, I don't have a lot of product on the brush, but I'm just lightly getting off of what is left up on my cheeks. Now I'm gonna stop right here for a hot minute. What I do wanna show you is see how much healthier and even my skin tone looks from this side right here. And then this side has a lot more redness. You can see the breakouts a lot easier. And that means we are on the right track. So I'm gonna put a little bit more on my brush. You do not need a ton of this foundation, and I recommend that for most of your foundations. Unless you are using something that is super light coverage, just go easy on the foundation application. Just because you have some acne or some spots you wanna cover, don't just cake on the product. Okay, same thing over here. We are just starting down low, making sure we don't have any lines, and we are moving up to the cheeks ever so gently. Okay, so now this is time to reassess your foundation application. I like to look, see where there are some spots on my skin that are peeking through that I want to do a little bit more coverage. So I'm going to take about half of a pump here, not even, but like a quarter of a pump of foundation. I'm going to dab it on both cheeks here where I have more of a flare up of some pinky cheeks and where I have that acne up on my cheeks here. And I'm just going to dab the foundation in and layer this seamlessly over the first layer. Okay, so we have our layer and a half, I guess you could say, on the lower half portion of our face. So what we will do is I'm gonna put a little on my nose and some on my forehead just to even the skin out there and keep giving us that beautiful base. So we're gonna put some up here. I'm just gonna really buff this in. It only takes like a hot second with this foundation. Okay, so now that we have a perfect, beautiful looking base, we are gonna jump into concealer to perfect it just a little bit more. And it's funny, I'm actually not going to dip into my typical Hourglass concealer. That is the only concealer I ever use. Well, today that's gonna change. So we're gonna spice it up for this video. I finally picked up the Rare Beauty concealer. So we will take that out right here. This is 130N. So this is a neutral color. I believe this is in the light range of her colors. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into this concealer and we're gonna highlight the face. So we're not gonna over highlight it. We're gonna do the same type of thing we did with the foundation and just do enough that really gives you that evened out skin tone. I'm just gonna use a brush. That's typically what I use to blend out my concealer. Hopefully it'll work well with this Rare Beauty one. So I'm gonna take her out. Now, my one really good friend, she just purchased this concealer in a different shade and she has been wearing it and loving it. So that's actually what convinced me to buy it because I saw how beautiful it looked on her skin and I had to get it. Okay, let's start with, we'll go to this eye first. I'm just gonna do a dab. The reason I am putting extra dots here and not just where the darkness is under my eye is because I want to add a little bit of concealer on my cheeks where I didn't put a ton of foundation. Okay, so let's just blend out this concealer and we will see what we're left with. Oh wow, this concealer blends out super easy. Just gently patting that in because your under eye skin is very tender and sensitive, so be kind to it. Okay, that actually did a beautiful job at brightening the under eye. It's not perfect, you can see a little darkness, but hey, that stuff looks really nice. Okay, let's do this side. It's definitely not a matte concealer, which is great because I did not want anything matte. Because as I already talked about earlier in the video, I really think when you just want to perfect your skin and get that beautiful blurred look, you don't want to be overly mattified because then it goes from, yeah, you might look blurred, but also you look super fakey. And I think that takes away from the beautiful blurred effect, just in my opinion. I'm gonna add just a little bit more right here. And now for the acne, I'm gonna add a little on these bigger marks here. You know what? I'm gonna actually use my clean finger here. I just want a little bit more coverage in the areas where I have some acne going on. So I'm just gonna dab that in with my finger. This is like melting into my skin using the finger too, I will say. I am super happy with this. We are looking good. How are we liking this? Do you guys like this application technique? Do you like that it's not so super full coverage? See, I just want to show you guys that it's okay to have a little bit of acne poking through. Your skin can still look beautiful with a couple zits on your face, okay? The skin is looking very healthy and hydrated, so we're gonna add in some dimension. I feel like every look, especially if you are focusing on the base and the skin, it looks so much better once you warm it up and give it a little bit of shape. So to give us some dimension, we are gonna start off with this light medium soft sculpt shaping stick by Makeup by Mario. So I always use a brush to apply this type of product with. I do not go right on the face. I feel like sometimes these sticks, not specifically this one because I never put this directly on my face, but I feel like some of those types of products can really disturb your makeup and ruin everything we just worked on. So I'm going to go right in and start adding this on the back half of my cheekbone, and then add some on the forehead. And this product goes on very smooth. We are all about getting that blurred, beautiful looking skin, and I'm telling you, these products will help you achieve that. All right, she is looking shaped. She is looking beautiful. I'm feeling so much better about my skin. Now we are going to set the face. Now, in my opinion, this is a super important part of having the blurred skin look. Okay, so for me, I'm going to use my Cherry Blossom Huda Beauty Loose Setting Powder. This is her Easy Bake and Set Powder. So I'm going to take some loose setting powder on this powder puff here. I'm going to press some of it in my hand so it really presses into that powder puff. I'm going to make sure my under eyes are not creasing here, and they are not. So we are just gonna go in and start setting the under eyes with this loose setting powder. And then I'm going to bring it on my cheeks here, where my pores really do tend to show, as do most people. Okay, yep, she is looking very blurred, so you can see the difference on this part of my face here, how blurred it looks, and then the side looks a little bit still luminous and a little bit pore-like, so we are going to fix that on this side. And boom, blurred. Love this stuff. It is so good, you guys. Now I'm going to jump into some just translucent setting powder. I am still using up my Cover FX setting powder here. I've been using this for quite some time, and I am very sad that Cover FX is no longer in Sephora or Ulta, so that's a bummer. So I'm gonna tap some of this in the lid and just take a big fluffy brush, just dip into that translucent setting powder, knock some of it off, and then just gently set the rest of your face. Next in the lineup, of course, the Makeup by Mario bronzer. I use this literally every time I do my makeup. Why I love this bronzer, the tones in his bronzer are great. They're not overly warm, they're not overly cool. This is a great, pretty close to neutral bronzer, and it goes on so easily, and it adds so much warmth to the skin. I just layer this right over my forehead, pretty much where we put that shaping stick, and I'm gonna go over the nose to bring that nose back forward here in case we lost it a little bit through the powdering process. And then I'm just gonna warm up my cheeks. The skin is looking bomb. Now that the face is all warmed up, we have dimension, I couldn't leave you guys without putting some blush on. So I'm going to use this Hourglass palette, and we are going to layer these beautiful blushes in here because we are really embracing pink lately. I am loving more and more pink looks, pink blushes, pink eyeshadows, you name it. We are embracing it over here. So I'm gonna use some of those, and I'm also gonna layer it with a Too Faced blush, which we've talked about this before. I am still loving this. And a blush is essential to just really bringing your skin back to life after we layered on powders and bronzer. It just gives you such a nice pop of color. So it really just does take your look to the next level and ties everything together. All right, got our first layer of blush on. Let's head into the Hourglass palette. So I'm just gonna dip into this deeper pink shade here and just layer that on. And this is gonna start looking a little crazy. It's gonna look a little punchy on the cheeks, but that is okay because blush tends to fade on people, on most people at least, very quickly. Okay, so we got the color on. That looks good. It is punchy. It is definitely there. So we're gonna take my favorite airbrush powder, and that is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is her airbrush brightening powder, and it looks like so. It is very white, but it goes on translucent on the skin. So what I love to do is to go over that loose setting powder that is now set on the skin with a pressed setting powder. Now this pressed setting powder, it works wonders. It has a little bit of a luminosity to it, goes on translucent, and it definitely has a blurring effect on the skin. So I love using this powder. So let's dip into her. And I'm gonna go over the nose. I always take this over my nose, my T-zone here. And this really just blends everything together. So I really suggest having a powder like this in your kit. And then I'm going to take it up here under my eyes, just gently. This will give a nice gradient effect on the skin so the pink won't look too harsh under the eyes. And I actually take this right above my lip and by my smile lines and on my chin. I just take this anywhere I want an extra little boost. All right, so before I pop on my brows and my mascara, I am going to try out another Rare Beauty product for the very first time. I could not get my hands on this product. This whole Rare Beauty line, I feel like has really hit the internet trending strong, and it's been hard to get some of their big name products. So that being said, I finally got the Positive Light. Oh, I was trying to read the other language on the other side and that wasn't working out too well. It is called the Positive Light Silky Touch Highlighter. This is in the color Mesmerize. Okay, I like the packaging. It's very simplistic but chic, but here she is. Let me show you guys. This is beautiful. That's really pretty. See how reflective that is in the pan? Woo! And it's definitely like a pink champagne. I'm gonna take some on the back of my hand to make sure I'm not putting too much just because I'm not used to this product. And I'm just gonna, oh wow, bring some life back to my cheeks. Oh wow, that puts it on very light, but that's beautiful. Let's take some up here. That highlighter is beautiful. I really like that a lot. Okay, so I am gonna go off camera for a hot second. I'm gonna put on some brows and a lip and let's chat, and I will leave you guys for the rest of the night or the day or whenever you're watching this video. So I will be right back. All right, you guys, that brings us to the very end of this video. I'm leaving you with a final look. We are looking beautiful, we are looking blurred, and I'm so happy I decided to sit down and film this video. If you guys liked this video or like this type of content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next upload. Bye.